Because I'll listen to Rock the Bells radio on Sirius XM all the time, and occasionally they'll debut, which I believe they debuted.
Yeah, they did. Now I'll
Yeah,
give them, yeah, they playing the
yeah,
record. Yeah. Shout
yeah,
out to LL for that. He he,
most
he actually
definitely.
hit me up and asked me for it. So that was dope.
Okay. Well, then let's take it back to the beginning. Let's take it back to 1979 in Brooklyn. Just talk about how the Stetson brothers came together and eventually became Stetsasonic.
Well, what happened with us was there was a group in Long Island called the Stetson Brothers. That was the original Stetson Brothers. Jeff Green, Pudgy Pudge, Nathaniel, and Rocco. And they used to always have, they was a little rap group out of Long Island. And I was rapping in New York. I didn't really know. I was trying to pull together a group. Delight was my friend. I was trying to pull together a little group and stuff, but I didn't know much about the whole thing. I just knew what everybody else knew, which was like going out, getting tapes, playing tapes. I had a box, all of that. Two of the guys that was in the original Stetson Brothers, one used to actually live on my block, the other one, but they used to be on the block. This is when hustling first started. So they started hustling. I never knew what they did. I just knew them as the guys I knew them as. I was walking down the street one day with a box and they asked me to come over. And they asked me to, they was like, you rap? And I was like, yeah. They was like, yo, rap to that, rap to that. And I started rapping. But at that time, I sounded just like the guys in the Bronx because I didn't know how else to sound. So I was sounding like, to the beat, y'all, yes, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. I was writing my own rhymes, but I didn't know how to sound I guess I had a different voice, but I didn't distinctly know how to sound like anything else. And they were just like, yo, you got a name? And I was like, yeah, I got a name. And they was like, what's your name? I was like, my name is Dr. On. They was like, F that. That's corny. Your name gonna be Daddy-O. And you gonna run it down just like this. And they gave me the first rhyme that I ever had as Daddy-O, like with a style that they call a gangster rock. Later on, they would tell me, they said, who's your favorite group? I said, Flash and them. They said, Stetson Brothers beat Flash and them. I said, nobody beat Flash and them. There's like, no, I wish I could find the tape. I'm glad, I'm mad right now that I lost the tape because they brought me the tape. And Pudge and them was tearing Melly Mel and them a new asshole with that same style that you hear Stetsasonic on records with. Because they taught us to rap, to rap slower. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't the fat, remember the Bronx in the beginning, especially after Herc, a lot of that was what they call Afro disco or Cuban disco or that kind of stuff. It Latin kind of, yeah, and it's not Latin as in Spanish, but just in the congas and all of that. And a lot of it was fast. I Can't Stop, Paradise, all those records was real fast. And that's how they was rhyming. Stetson Brothers never rhymed to nothing fast. Everything started at that tempo or that Barry White. I want to give you a little bit more. Do 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 do. Always. And that's where they came and they taught me how to do it. Delight was my friend. We decided to form a group. I taught him how to do it. And then once we got serious, there was a brother in the neighborhood named Kevin Porter who actually became kind of like an arts development coach. And he's the one that brought us Wise and Fuquan. Because he was like, yo, you got to meet this guy. He could do this thing. He could do. And I was like, at that time, Buff, I grew up around the corner from Buffy. You know what I'm saying? Buff and Mark grew up around the corner from me. They was on Skank. I was on Hendrix. You know what I mean? So,
rest in peace to both of them.
Yeah, rest in peace to both of them. Yeah. So that he came to me and said, this guy, I was like, yeah, but Buff is the best. He's like, this guy could do what Buff can do and more. I was like, you're lying to me. And he brought Wise around, and Wise did like everything Buff did, and then like 80% more. Scratching with his mouth, all of this stuff. I said, what you call yourself? He said, the Human Mix Machine. I said, this is perfect. Then he brought Fuquan to the group, and Fuquan was already a dope rhymer, but just needed, somewhere to get it off. Getting with me and D, that was dope. And that's the way we kind of formed it. It was like, I always say Stetsasonic formed like, you ever see those commercials where somebody's walking down the street and it's just them, and then somebody else joins, and then somebody else joins. Next thing you know, it's a bunch. That's how I feel about the way we, because we kept adding people with Prince Paul being well, really, Paul wasn't really the last because Bobby was the last because Bobby was a backup DJ for Red Alert at the Latin Quarter. We had Go Stetsa out with the live drums, and Bobby came to me one day. We had a show at the Latin Quarter and said, yo, you should let me play the live drums. And I said, where? Anybody knows Latin Quarter, it's just a little teeny stage and then the dance floor. He said, down there. I said, you want us to be up there and you play the drums down there? And he said, yeah. I said, forget it, let's try it. And we tried it and it went off like a gym. And we were just like, okay, so we'll just add the drums as well. You know what I mean? And that's, I mean, we're very, maybe not now because we a little more established, but I even like to think this about our mind. We are very experimental in what we do. We will try stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when now y'all giving up love, we tried other concepts. This one just worked better.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say, but we will try things. We will try things. If they don't work, we just throw them away.
Yep.
But we will try it. So that was the whole issue of even formulating Stetsasonic was like, okay, because we already knew people already had rap groups with DJs. That was a very common thing, a rap group with a DJ. Okay.